Welcome to the It's All Fine and Dangy podcast, where hosts Dan and Angie talk with creatives, small business owners, charities, and all kinds of interesting people. It's all real talk. It's all fine and dangy.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in this week to see what Dan and Angie are up to. You like all my voices? I do.
I do. You've got a lot of inflection, and you probably did, when you read your kids' books when they were little, you probably did all the voices, didn't you?
I did voices, yes.
I never did the voices.
Yeah? No.
I didn't really know how to do
more
the voice.
Exciting that way.
That's probably making you a more skilled voice talent for backstage.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, yes,
So
welcome.
what's up?
Welcome to the show. We are sitting here in our studio this morning on Sunday morning, and we're in our PJs, actually. So,
Well, I have my PJ bottoms on, so you can probably see that in the video when it's
In the
like
side
the
shot?
full screen. But I'm all business here and up.
oh
Look
boy,
at this.
I didn't know that. I was down here setting up cameras. I'm in
Yeah.
PJs top to bottom.
So my top half is ready for us to, go out exploring after the podcast today. The bottom half is still comfy and lounging around the house.
So you're kind of dressed like most people are dressed for video conferences now
Exactly.
for work.
Exactly.
Very nice.
But we're recording from our studio today. It's so nice we recorded last time down here, but now we've got it really tweaked up. So
Yeah, we got a few things left to do in here. Minor things, like we're looking for a mini fridge. I think it'd be cool to have
oh yeah, I want one of those little retro ones, like
Yeah.
a really cool color.
I know. And I think, we'll have like water and juices or whatever, but we'll also have like beer and wine for people. And I think it'll be a really cool vibe. in here.
Beer from local breweries around here, definitely.
Indeed, yes.
That's what we have to do.
Local Asheville area breweries.
is right.
Lots of options there.
Oh, there is lots of options. So I'm excited to kind of put that together. We did like a little seating area where when it's just the two of us, or if someone brings extra guests that aren't going to be on the show, but they kind of, feel more comfortable bringing somebody along. We have a little sitting area.
Yeah, that's under, you can't see for those of you on YouTube, but that's under the wide shot mic right under here. So little cocktail table and a couple chairs.
I know. It's going to be really fun. I kind of want to paint the cocktail table of a color too, I think.
Oh, like a brighter color. Yeah.
Just to
that'd be
add a
cool.
little pizzazz in the space, because our space is kind of dark, more muted tones, kind of because of our brand.
Yeah.
But if we just do something fun over there, I think that'd be nice.
Very cool. Make it red or something.
Yeah. So right before the show started, we had to situate our animals, our little puppies, to be able to make you have an enjoyable listening experience, so you're not hearing puppy whining in the crate, Mr. Oliver whining in the crate, or MacKinzee barking at all the neighborhood dogs that bark nonstop in our neighborhood.
That is the nature of the
She's
area.
becoming part of that, though.
That is right.
The annoying dog during the day that never shuts the fuck up.
Oh boy. Well,
Happy.
happy. No, we love our dogs.
Good morning.
I did that right before we started recording after I had to go out and yell at her. But I mean, it's hard when you have all the other dogs barking. But what it is too is there's like a mountain drops off behind our house, and there's a valley between us and all the other houses, and it's like a giant echo chamber.
Oh,
so
it's like being in the Coliseum. Let's just put it that
exactly.
way.
So
Which I love, because we put a bunch of bird feeders out in the backyard.
oh yes,
And when the birds are going in the morning, like just singing, and oh my gosh, it just picks it up and it like echoes. It reminds me of the Hunger Games. They recorded that in North Carolina.
they did. That's right.
Part of it anyway. But it reminds me of like the Mockingjays when they start doing the singing. But that's kind of how our little valley sounds.
It really
so
does.
It's so beautiful in the morning to listen to that.
Those of you that are up here that are listening from the Asheville area, you probably already know what we're talking about. But our friends back in Florida, I mean, I'd recorded a little clip out by the creek in the back of the property the other day, just while the dogs were kind of a little further away. And you would think it is a totally fake audio clip, because it is 10,000 birds.
You sent that to me.
It's like 10,000 birds in the water, and you're like, wow, this part of it is just amazing.
Yeah, no piped in noises.
Yeah.
Now, our Florida house, the Lynwood Lounge, as we like to call it, we had tons of birds in our backyard there too, because they had cleaned out this area behind a big fence that was, chain link fence in our backyard. And it's like a retention pond, but it used to be like total woods. And then when they cleaned it out, they turned it into like a little pond.
Yeah, there's like
And
geese
so the birds,
and ducks over there. Yeah.
So the birds are like really flocking into that area because it's a food source, water source, and lots of trees around there for protection. So we get a lot of birds down there too. But here, the echoing of the birds,
loud.
it's beautiful.
Well, speaking of the Lynwood Lounge, let's talk about that for a minute. Our Airbnb in Apopka, Florida. That is a really nice spot to sit in the back now too, because you can just sit. We've got a couple Adirondack chairs and those giant fake torches where you can just kind of sit in past the fence line and just kind of chill.
And we have a bird feeder back there for guests if they want to put bird seed in there.
Oh,
we
cool.
added a bird feeder.
Oh, I
That's
didn't
one
know
of the
that.
upgrades that we added. So we had took all the bird feeders from there because we were like, well, we don't really want the cleaners to have to like put the bird seed in.
Now it's a guest option.
It's a guest option. And the reason that we did that is not my idea because I'm like, well, I'm going to take that out.
Yeah.
We brought on a co-host, and the name of her business is Your Co-Host with the Most, which I think is amazing.
I love it. That's a Florida small business. And
That's
Brianna, who runs that, she has been, I mean, look, you've been kicking butt on it, Angie, this whole time. And everyone's like, oh, congrats on your Airbnb. I hear it's doing well. And I'm like, thank you. I had nothing to do with it because it's been you. But to bring in the co-host here and just to talk about Brianna for a minute, she has been doing this for a while. She's been
2 years hosting.
Yeah,
5 properties. So
yeah, that's crazy.
within a very short amount of time.
With wild success because she's like bought all the software, goes to all the seminars, and there's
She's
lot
really
of
educated herself in short-term rentals and like the do's and the don'ts.
there's a lot of inside data.
Yeah.
And, I'm an IT nerd, but when you can harvest the data, like what people are searching for, and then apply that to your rentals to make sure you have it, it's really cool. So I guess this is a good time for us to plug her because if I would assume she does this everywhere, or is it just in Florida for now? Do you know?
For co-hosting?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know she's taking on a limited clientele
To get
because she's
started.
a busy mom.
Of course.
She has 2 little ones that are 2 and under.
Yep.
And Asher just turned 2, I think. They have 5 properties.
Right.
She co-hosts 2 other properties, and she has 3 properties of her own.
That's crazy.
It's a lot to manage. I mean, I know even one is a lot with just responding to guests and inquiries and things like this.
Yeah.
But bringing her on already, we have leveled up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're already seeing some changes. It's just because she knows the ins and outs of it.
Sure.
And like you said, she's put in all this time because this is a business for her. This is more, it's a business for us, but we did this so that, let's be real, we did this so we can keep our home in Florida because we don't want to sell it because we want that as a, like kind of our retirement, like, what do you call it? Nest egg?
I was just thinking of it. Yeah, I guess nest egg. I was thinking of it more like, I guess nest egg is good. It's a place for us to keep as an asset. It's good, but it's also passive income when it finally pays itself off. Yeah.
Yeah, when it finally pays itself. I want to just reaffirm though that having an Airbnb is not a passive income.
No, I know that.
So many people think you're just pocketing this money, and you're not.
Yeah.
Like, you have to make a certain amount of money to
Yeah.
pay your bills,
Sure.
and then, oh, whoops, something broke.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops, you got to replace linens. So it's not passive. We're not making like thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? But it affords us the ability to move to a different state.
Yep.
Keep our home so that we can visit when we come to Florida and have, other people staying there pay for it.
Yeah, of course. I guess the term passive income's a little tricky because I guess I think of it more because it's definitely not passive. The amount of work that goes into it could be a full-time job and is for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I guess in my mind, I think long-term passive income, which it's still not if it's Airbnb, but once it's paid off, you still have just as much. Yeah. You still have just as much work you have to do. So it's not really passive income. It's like you got a raise. That's what it's like.
Exactly. Yeah. If your home is paid off and your bills are minimal there and there's just little things you kind of have to tweak up every month, then it's a little more passive income, definitely. But it is work. It is work. But bringing her on has been amazing. I want everybody to stay tuned for over the next month. We're doing some really cool upgrades, little things to just kind of make us stand out a little more. I don't want to lose that hominess that our house has, because that's been the biggest compliment that we've had on it.
Yeah.
So we're keeping that hominess. We're just kind of elevating a couple things in the house that'll, I think, take it even to the next level. So maybe we can start, pocketing a little money to put towards the mortgage. That's exactly what I will do. Let's be honest. Maybe pay us back a little bit for what we put into it initially.
Yes.
Because when you're a perfection, there are people who just pop Airbnbs on and it's like as is,
Yeah.
We didn't do that.
No, and we don't stay at the ones that are like that either. So that's,
no. I want something pretty and
all
that's
done
the
up.
thing. You want it to be like a cool vacation.
And that's
unless
where-
you're just I need the cheapest thing possible. I just need to stay for a night. I don't want to pay for all these amenities that I'm never going to use. Right. But just stay in a hotel if you're going to do that.
That's where you and Brianna are similar. That, I know she has all the extra schooling and knowledge, and I feel like there'll be a nice knowledge transfer with this too. But where we're so happy with, having engaged with her is she wants the place. If you look at her properties, they are really nice. They're decorated very nicely. It's not your average.
Beautiful. They're beautiful.
Right. So that way we're similar. And although our place is a bit smaller, I think than most of our places, it's a cozy little place, and it's
But she has, she has everything from 1-bedroom apartments.
Oh, that's right. She does have smaller
little bungalow.
Yeah.
To huge houses in Tampa. So you know what I mean. She's kind of got the whole gambit.
So she got good experience.
It's nice to bring somebody on that sees what this type of property does, or this type of property does, or this type of property does. That knowledge is invaluable. And that is one of the things I was never going to really delve into spending the money on a lot of those classes and stuff because we have one property.
Right.
If I was going to be like, oh, our goal is we want 5 properties.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe we will get there.
At one point,
because we do want to do one more, you know. But it didn't make sense for me to do all that,
Right. And I think just
bringing her on is
just to bring
fabulous.
it back to that your co-host with the most. So we'll put a link.
Co-host with the most.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the show notes for that. But this is a Florida small business. She's doing great. She's already helped us tremendously. And I'm very happy and excited that you decided to link up with her to get this going. I also want to plug JBI Painting, which is another small business in Florida.
Yes, that's shout out Joe Brown.
Owned by a dear friend of mine that I've known forever, Joe Brown. But they do a lot of great work. I've helped him with some stuff on his website years ago. But I saw all the work they do from those pictures.
Oh yeah,
very impressive. But for us to contact him and
and this is last minute.
As busy as he is, they squeezed us in, and so we are so excited to have them come do the work.
They are squeezing us in. That is one of the things. We'll have pictures up in April sometime, but because we're getting new pictures, even though we love the photos you took of the house, things are changing. So
of course,
you got to keep the pictures up to date with your changes.
Sure.
But we are going to add 3 accent walls. So
I love it.
Stay tuned for like little sneak peeks on the fun little accent walls that
Very
we're doing.
Nice.
But they're going to come in and whip that out in a day, and then get everything. And then my sister and my mom will go back and get everything set back up. And
very nice.
I got like the dream team when it comes to that.
I know. I love it. Well, when I fly back to Florida in a month or so to do, I need to go there to visit the Orlando office and a few other things. But when I do, maybe if I have the time, I'll drop by the Lynwood Lounge if it's open and available for me to do this and do another 360 walkthrough, because I know that's not important to Airbnb, but it's fun to me.
Yeah.
And to be able to give you guys a link if you're interested where you can literally walk through the whole house on your phone or computer and see everything. It's literally like you're there. You can go in the backyard, the front yard. It's very cool.
Verbo, you can upload Matterport stuff.
Oh, okay.
So we'll talk to Bree about getting that uploaded after
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Matterport, for those of you that don't know, is that 360 link that maybe I'll put one in the show notes here to show you the place as it is / was. There's already been changes.
Yeah.
But it's neat just from a technology perspective because sometimes you look at the pictures at an Airbnb and you get there and you're like, oh, they took all the pictures in the same room. I thought this was 3 different. You can really tell the scale and scope of everything with the walkthrough.
Or people take the picture right when everything is all new and fresh and they're not keeping up on it. So you got all the, brand new pictures, but it's not being, upkept. So
yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
but Airbnb is making big changes as far as removing listings that aren't performing at a good hospitality level. So
Get rid of party houses.
It makes you kind of want to keep up your game to make sure you're not one of those that's getting removed. So you got to be on top of it if you're going to run it as a business. So anyway, thank you so much to Bree for helping us out.
Yes, thank you, Brianna. We were never at risk of being one of those, but I see what you're saying for everyone else.
Yeah.
Speaking of traveling to Florida, I know I keep segueing us along here, but Angie, you just got back from Florida again. You've been back.
And then I'm going back again.
No.
Hey, I'm becoming, what do you call it?
Jet set?
I'm
jet setter?
A little jet setter.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I'm actually traveling down. I was just down the weekend of March 10th for a wedding for a coworker. I decorated the wedding venue space for them.
Yeah.
I had my sister come help because don't know what I was thinking. Gonna do that by myself. I have really overachiever syndrome sometimes.
Oh, boy.
It just, it's not going to happen.
Relatable.
But really, turned out really nice, really beautiful on the inside. All the guys, which me and my sister thought we were going to do this, hung up all these twinkle lights on the inside, and it just really made the space really nice.
Oh, cool.
But I would have never got all that done.
Of course.
First of all, I'm too short. I can't reach the ceiling, so I don't know what was I thinking?
Right.
So they helped with all that, and then we got all the table set and stuff like that. It was really beautiful. It was very nice. And it was a long day.
Yes.
And I came back crippled.
Oh, I know. You're unable to walk well. Well,
something I'm going to take care of.
As we get older, as we get
I mean, that I think is something that can happen to anybody. So I have plantar fasciitis in my feet.
So
I have all sorts of feet issues right now.
I keep calling it plantar fasciitis, but it's, what is it called again? See?
Plantar fasciitis. You almost made me do it.
So that's when there's a tendon or a muscle that runs around the bottom of your foot that gets so inflamed you can almost not walk on it.
Yeah, it's almost like a ligament or a rubber band is kind of
the way you envision it?
Yeah, way you envision it. And it stretches really tight and it's supposed to be a little more flexible. And then my Achilles tendon is pulled really super tight because that's all connected.
Yeah.
So my calves are tight. I have bone spurs. I have these nodules. It's really gross. I have a lot of... They don't look gross. My feet don't look gross.
We'll throw some pictures of Angie's feet up. I'm just kidding.
But it did take me down for 3 days.
Yeah.
Mind you, I did get yelled at from my sister because, I was a guest at the wedding too, but I was working most of the time. But when it's time to sit down for dinner and you don't really have much more to do, and DJ's playing great music and Footloose comes on.
You could not help yourself.
I literally couldn't help myself. And I gave the performance of a lifetime.
Oh, if only someone had a video of that I could have to post on here. Wink, wink.
They did take a video.
I know. I want them to send it to me. Oh, that'd be so great to see.
But I kicked my shoes off because the song says, kick off your Sunday shoes. So I had to.
Yeah.
But I should not be dancing on a terrazzo floor barefoot, doing literal jumps like Kevin Bacon did in the movie. I had a girl stop me after and go, "Oh my gosh, your dance performance was amazing. Are you in theater?" And I'm like, "No, but maybe I'm missing my calling." People.
I'm always in theater in my mind. That's what you should have said.
It was fun. There was some other coworkers there from MFT, and it was just fun. It was fun.
I love it. Yeah. I wish I could have went, but I was at home taking care of the dogs, including the little puppy Oliver, who he is almost dog park ready now, and thank goodness, because we're very limited in what we can do with him. If you've had a puppy, you got to wait for that last round of shots. But we have taken him. We have taken him on walks. We took him to the North Carolina. I'm gonna butcher this. I think it's called Arboretum. I
guess we keep saying arbitorium, but that's not what it is.
Yeah, it's a place. It's like a park here, but it
means it's basically like a park that focuses on the botanical of trees.
The botanical side, because they have a greenhouse in the main building. They have plant. You can buy stuff from the nursery,
but their main focus is trees because, when we go on those little walkways, you'll see little things that say this is a so and so maple, this is a so and so. They have a bonsai garden, so the main goal is the botanical trees instead of flowers and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's beautiful. It's
really nice.
Literally 4 minutes from our house. So we bought the annual pass. You can bring your dogs there. You can bicycle there. So we're excited to do all that. But we have we brought him to.
Yeah.
We kept him away from other dogs, but we walked
Yeah.
along the river. They actually got in the
Just
river.
keep them away from feces and stuff. I mean, they can pick up like parvo and stuff from the ground. We just don't let them like lick up the ground. You know what I mean? And he's only got one more set of shots, and that's like his rabies shot and stuff. So
We're so close. I can't wait to take him to the park to meet
the end of
Gandalf.
this month. Oh yeah, he is gonna have and he plays rough.
I know.
And so does Gandalf.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how MacKinzee does though, because she's a little jelly of you. Like if you start going, oh, where's my little puppy boy? She comes running. She's like, and then she attacks him. Like not meanly, but she's like, roughs him
like
up.
a sibling. Like, oh, Dad's giving you attention. Time to kick your butt. You know, that's what
So
she's.
I feel like she'll do the same thing
She
when
might.
they go to the dog park.
Yeah. Well, you know what I've noticed? Dogs are also kind of like kids. Sometimes when there's 4, it's great. When there's 2, it's great. When there's 3, it's a problem. And I'm hoping it's not that way because Gandalf is great.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's what I did. I stayed home and took care of the dogs, which was a much easier job than what you were doing. I mean, you've been flying around doing everything. We are also, this is kind of, I guess, sort of breaking news for the podcast, but as we've been talking about, you know, getting set up here, getting the studio set up and starting to engage with locals to start lining up guests, which we are finally starting to do. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
We are going to be, I'll leave it at a simple statement because we don't have it all ironed out yet, but we have met with Sherry from Go Local Asheville. Go Local Asheville is a pretty large deal here where there's so many small businesses. Do you know how many? Any idea?
Oh, it's like over 600 businesses that are connected with them.
Part of it. And it's so cool because if you're a member of Go Local Asheville and you get your little card, then you can use it at so many local businesses for a discount to, on the products.
You just have to remember to ask.
Which we've forgotten to do a few times. But
that's okay. We're fine with paying the full price too, but it is nice to,
Yeah.
as you're going out every week and, discovering small places. I feel like when you show it too, it's almost like you're showing, look, I'm a part of I'm helping support the community.
Yeah, I love that. I do feel that way too. But we went downtown and we went to, remember the little ice cream shop we went to where we went to Haywood Commons and the Hop.
Yep.
Haywood Commons, by the way, very good beer, cool vibe at that place.
Oh, yeah, very cool vibe. Oh, and I had one of the sodas I have been seeking out to because I discovered Waynesville Soda Jerks.
That's right.
So I'm so interested. We've reached out to them. So interested to get them on the show to hear all about, first of all, the name.
Yeah.
Because I love the name. And then just their story.
Yeah.
Coming up with this unique product.
Yeah. It's
in a state that's all about craft beer.
Yeah,
right?
and now it's like literally soda, right?
And you can find it in like local little boutiques and some of the restaurants. So it's really good. It's unique flavors.
Yeah.
I had an apple rosemary and it was really good, not super carbonated because that hurts my stomach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So I did not have any belching or anything, may I say? Because like I love root beer. When I drink root beer, it's so carbonated.
Yeah.
Like I can do maybe like a quarter of a one.
I'm with you. Soda does that to me in general. I haven't tried these though. I'm excited to try these. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go to one of the little local places that has a variety of them and get a few different flavors because it's interesting mixes that they have.
Oh, I love it. So anyway, we are.
Maybe we'll keep those in our little fridge down here.
Oh, that'd be a great idea. The non-alcoholic options. But Sherry at Go Local Asheville, she's heading up that organization now, and it's just it's such a cool thing to be a part of. So we are working on a sort of partnership with Go Local for interviewing local small businesses here in the Asheville area. We are so excited. More to come on that.
Yeah, excited to see where that takes us, definitely.
As we check our little check boxes
We're checking
here.
our list, checking it twice, checking the cameras to make sure the puppies are being nice. Oh,
is that what you're doing over there?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, very nice.
And also, we went shopping for a pull-out couch. And as you all know, pull-out couches suck. There's no comfortable ones. Like
I'm reading all the reviews. We go to Ashley Furniture, which is not a local small business, but we're trying to find a pull-out couch here, and you tell them a story about what happened when we tested it.
Yeah, no. It's just no, right away, no.
How long? Did you even test it?
I don't even need to. When I see the mattress and it's this thick, and then the guy's like, "Oh, it's going to expand," I'm like, "No, it's not. There's a bar going."
It would have to be some Tony Stark technology that makes this thing convert into a mattress because it was horrible. It was horrible.
So we skipped that, and we're like, well, let's just see what other options there are,
Yeah.
you know? But as we're walking out, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this. We had been so we had a little like island that we bought for our tiny little kitchen. And it had this little flip out piece where you could make it a table for 2 chairs, but you can only fit 2 people there.
And if you've ever used
And
one
if
of
you
those,
have 2 guests over, where are they sitting?
and if you've ever used one of those things that has the hinge that folds
yeah.
out, you feel like you can't put your
You're
arms.
like, where do I put
You're
my
hovering,
stuff?
right? You feel like you're going to break it off if you put your arm on the table. Yeah, it was rough.
So we walk by this table, and it's got 4 little bench seats that go right up underneath with no back. You know what I mean? Just like a bar stool.
Yep.
Up underneath, some storage in the center. Perfect
Dimensions.
Yeah. And it's on clearance because
literally
they're getting rid of it.
It was like less than 50% of what the original price was. Sometimes you're just in the right place at the right time.
And then Angie said, oh, no. We're going to barter this, right? We're going to get this price down. So I took the sign up there and I'm like, yeah, I just got a new puppy. They cost a lot of money, so I need to know what the best price is. And by the way, here's a picture of my puppy.
Yeah, it worked. And
it
then
did
you
work.
go,
They took $100 off.
and then she's like, what about that bar cart over there, that wooden bar cart, like the outdoor? What if you throw that in? How much? And they're like, and it literally moved the price like a tiny bit. And I'm like, hey, what else is in here to throw into that? But that was it. That's all we could find.
Yeah, we got a cool little like tiki bar cart for the back porch for like, putting food on and stuff when people are over. Because I'm excited to transition to eating outside.
Me
Now the
too.
weather's getting better and it's spring here already. It's beautiful.
That is the thing. So, I don't want any of our Central Florida friends and family to feel like we're poo-pooing on Florida, because we do love Florida, but something that's so different for me, because I've only ever lived in Florida.
You're seeing this real seasons.
It's like, well, here in Asheville, it's like right now, it's perfect weather to go sit outside for dinner. And I mean, last night, Angie and I, we went downstairs and sat outside at our little, our little fire pit, those table fire pits we have,
Had
those
a glass of
propane.
wine.
And it's just, looking out over the woods. It is just beautiful. It's just what we wanted to be able to do here. So we are loving Asheville in so many different ways.
And all these, what I noticed up here, like all these trees are blooming,
Yes.
right? Because Florida, we're used to having it all. We don't really have a lot of dead trees.
No, and
Like we have green all
I was going to say,
year.
it's very green in Florida, which is nice. It's the vibe. That's what you're looking for. But here, it's like there are trees that are literally made of flowers. And I didn't even know things like that
the
existed.
dogwoods and stuff like that. So lots of like white flowering blooms and pink and these little yellow bushes that get bright yellow flowers. And we get beautiful colors in Florida too. But, and they probably last a little longer. Than here. But I see a lot of bulbs popping up all over. Like
out of the ground.
dandelions and daffodils and little purple, flowers. I don't know what they're called. They're not hyacinth, but they look similar. But they're just pop up in everybody's yard. They're just crazy. They must be wild here or something.
Or they're planted years past, because they're popping up in perfect little patterns. It's almost like that's
perfect little patterns.
I know. It sounded like that that Jimmy Fallon thing where they're eating and spitting on each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's beautiful. And to lead back to the fold-out couch. So we ended up buying a really nice air mattress for the guest room. One of those kind, it's like, it's like a full bed size. It auto inflates, it auto deflates. And we tested it the other night and we're like, wow, this is really nice. So we are, if you can't tell, very excited to have.
We're excited to host.
Those of you from different areas that want to come up, our friends and family from Florida, we just met with some friends from Tennessee, Craig and Daisy Sanders. And, they didn't end up staying the night, but as they're leaving, because they're hour and 45 minutes away, they're like, next time we got to stay the night, because the whole day goes so quick.
Bring Spear, their German Shepherd, let him run around and frolic out there with MacKinzee and meet little Oliver, and then we cannot worry about coming back to let puppy out to go potty.
That's when you have a little puppy, you're like, all right, we got 3 hours, let's go do this. We did do a bunch of cool stuff with them though. We went to downtown Asheville, we went to the Battery Park Book Exchange, which you and I went to on our honeymoon, I think.
We did. We went there, had a charcuterie and some wine, and that's what we did.
Again.
It
was cool, though, because to me, it reminded me of our honeymoon. Like, it was like, oh, wow, I haven't been here since.
Sort of reminiscing.
Yeah.
And they have some really, this is a normal thing they have outside of the, like on the streets in Asheville. They have like permanent vendors, local vendors.
Yeah, little street
that are in
vendors.
those spaces.
But they're nice street. These aren't like, the pop-up tents that look like they're going to...
This is like
a really nice
permanent structure that's covered and people set their product up. And I got this really good balm for you because your hands are so dry. Your skin is so dry.
Put my hands on the microphone.
And she said that they use this for tattoo balm as well. Stop. I kind of want you to keep it because it's like a nice back scratcher.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
back
gross.
is scratchy.
Oh, gross.
He just uses dead skin to itch
Oh,
my back.
gross.
Anyway, so I
Edit
got
that
this.
out.
This is balm, kind of like, we have some people, Mindy makes this kind of stuff too, but I didn't have any. So I'm like, let's get you some oily stuff.
Is that a local small business?
Yes, it is.
Who's it from?
It's called Appalachian Wild Botanicals, and they spell wild cool. I always like cool spellings.
WYLD. Very
Isn't that cool? Yep, and they have like some tea blends and stuff like that as well.
This sounds like someone you should talk to.
I gave her a card.
Oh, very
Yeah.
cool.
Because I like her. Like, I think when we're looking for vendors like this too, we kind of scope out. We want a vendor that's engaging, right, about their product.
Of course.
Excited about their product. So it's all about presentation of yourself first, right? And then we look at the product and how it's, I like, nice labeling and kind of like a cohesive, I don't know. I mean, we're, it's kind of
the marketing and all that.
Marketing, you know what I mean?
If the product's, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and to try the product. I already tried some of this and it's amazing. Like this one doesn't have they had a lavender one that I really wanted, but I wanted to get you something that was kind of scent free.
That I would wear without smelling like a girl perfume.
A tiny little bit of a scent, but it's more masculine smelling.
Right.
So you're not like
Very
running around
cool.
smelling like lavender.
And that one's a tattoo balm?
Yeah, you can use it as a tattoo balm too.
Very cool. I love that.
Kind of like the other stuff I got you, but you're just going to put this all over your hands at night so that we can try to repair your hands a little bit. It repairs, just says irritated skin, minor cuts, burns, and scars, insect bites. You can put it on. There's something in here that helps with that. It's a natural antibiotic too.
I love that. Well, we did that. We hit the Battery Park Book Exchange. The ladies did those vendors on the street, including the Appalachian Wild Botanicals, and then we really wanted to go to that pinball museum, which Angie and I have been to before. I know it's a pinball museum, but in the back, it's all these old 80s arcade games, and it's like one price. You pay for them all. You can get beer in there. You can walk around with a beer and play the games. So we have to come back and do that.
You know what? We should have left you guys there, and me and but we were kind of on a time crunch for dinner.
And for them to get back.
We'll do that next time.
And that's
that place
another
is really cool.
It is. That's another Asheville small business as well, but it's called I believe it's called the.
It's just Asheville Pinball Museum. I think.
Is it just the Asheville? Okay, very cool.
We'll double check that, but yeah, it's really cool. It is really neat. I found that for our
honeymoon also.
Honeymoon too.
Yeah.
Like we had a whole day planned. It was great.
And if you're a big nerd like me, I don't really play video games anymore, but I think I like the idea of playing them from my childhood more than I actually have time to play them because I will play sometimes, but I always feel like I should have done something else. So
yeah, he does.
I like to stay.
He guilt factors himself for sure.
But they have some of the old games like the old original Gauntlet or Dragon's Lair or games that if you're my age and you're from that certain era in the 80s, or even if, the 80s have come back around as far as popularity, some of the coolest old games that you really don't see anywhere anymore are in there, which was really fun to do.
I know. I have a video of you playing that Dragon's Lair.
I know. And I totally suck at it. That game was so rigged to take your money. We were kids, but I was still so excited to play it.
Oh.
We're plugging the local small businesses, though, you want to tell them what we did for dinner?
Oh, yeah. So Craig and Daisy had tried at an Italian restaurant out here. There's 2 locations, but it's a small business. And it's called Vinny's.
Yes.
And so we need a good Italian place, right? Because we don't have our Tornatores anymore.
Yeah, not here. Yeah.
So we found it.
Yeah.
Really good.
Very good.
The tiramisu.
Top notch.
Different than Denny's.
Yeah.
But I'm so picky about a tiramisu. I'm real picky about it.
I ate some of it the next day, later in the night. Sound like a total pig here, but when we got home,
yeah, we did.
And I don't really like tiramisu, and I really liked it. So it's got just the right blend. I got the chicken parm, which I know it's like such a standard thing to get, but I love it. And theirs is really good. Their red sauce was delicious. Didn't hurt my stomach like some of them will do. So we'll definitely be back there. There's a really great vibe in there too. They've got a really cool bar.
Yeah,
they've got
was great.
Craft cocktails.
Yeah.
They have a saying. I need to look this up because those of you listening might be like, you don't know what that's from, but they have a saying that's on their shirt that says, I think it says, leave the gun, take the cannoli. And I don't know if that's just their saying or if it's from like an old movie. It sounds like it's from an old mobster movie or something.
It really does. I bet it is from something like that. We got to find that out. Before that, I did not catch the name of the place that we stopped, but we were just like, oh, how can we kill some time before they open for dinner, right? And Craig's like, oh, just pull into here. It's a pizza place. And I'm like, we're going to an Italian.
I was thinking that too at
and
first.
We're like, let's just stop and get a beer or something. But we went in there and they had like beer on tap, like kind of like in Winter Park where you do the winery and you pay for a card and then you get, can sample stuff basically.
Sure.
Or pour a whole beer too if you want.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of cool. But it smelled amazing when we walked in there.
Oh, it did.
So I'm like...
It really did. And so just real quick to sort of recap what you just said, they have a little section in there. It's kind of like a little tiny bar that you could put like 4 people on each side of the bar, separate from regular dining.
Yeah.
And like she said, you get your card, you put it in the thing, and you're like, all right, I'm going to try this beer. And it measures by the ounce. So you can try... I always have one porter.
Yeah, and I didn't go with a porter. There was a strawberry peach, and I never do the lighter colored beers.
Yeah.
But I like a Corona, and this was something that was very light like that. But it had like a peachy taste to it. I couldn't taste the strawberry as much, but it definitely had like a peach taste to it, and it was really good.
Yeah.
Like, a good like sitting around in the summer beer.
Oh, yeah. There's a difference, isn't there? There's a difference between like the beer that you want to drink out in the sun that's light and still good flavor and the one you want to have with your dinner, like a porter or a stout that's heavy and you could never drink a few of them in the sun. You'd be sick. So it's I need to find out about Green Man Porter, by the way. That is a local porter that we've found everywhere and it is amazing. We had it at one of my new favorite Asheville small businesses here is called Galactic Pizza.
Oh, I was going to say, I was just going to lead into that we had a full weekend. We started on Friday. We had our own little date night.
Yep.
And then Saturday, we had Craig and Daisy over, and today we'll be doing some outdoor stuff.
Yeah, walking with the dogs. Yeah. Well, you go into it because I was just talking about the fact that they have the beer there.
Yeah, Galactic Pizza, which is just around the corner from us. We've been there like 4 times.
Yeah.
4 or 5 times. I think actually the first night we were here.
We did. The very first night.
You went and picked up a pizza.
And almost hit a giant deer. And I was like, wow, okay.
Here's the thing about picking up pizza in the middle of winter here, though.
Yeah.
You better have one of those insulated things you can put it in because by the time you got it home, it's cold. You know what I mean? I think so. You got to put it in the oven when you get home.
That's the pro trick that you have figured out. So when I order a pizza, especially a place that has the more New York style, the thinner pizza, if it's not deep dish, I like it to be well done. I like it to be a little crispy.
Which they did for us when we went out on Friday.
Yeah, and it is so good. If you don't know that hack for pizza places, if you don't like foldy pizza, ask for it well done. If the place does it right, then it's like crispy on the bottom.
And we've always tried the pizza, like a variety of ones from there, but I wanted to try something different. So I'm like, let's just do 6 wings and just give it a try.
Yep.
And we weren't disappointed.
Their sauce, their wing sauce, which is homemade, is delicious.
Which she said is a mixture. Like the medium is a mixture of probably the hot and the mild, right? But the flavor was amazing.
There's something in it that is I have never tasted in a hot sauce before.
The homemade blue cheese
is delicious.
I was eating it with a fork. That's how good it was. I'm like, this is not going to waste.
Nice.
On me.
Well, the hack that you do with the pizza too, like that first night, is if you get your oven going at about 300 degrees, so that is that what you said? 350, and have it ready.
Put your pan in there because you want your pan to be hot when you set the pizza.
That's right. That's right.
And you just crisps it right up.
So if someone's going to get it or it's on the way, especially here when it's cold, if you just take it and throw it in there for 10 minutes, then it's perfect. Yeah. But anyway, in the place we had it was great. So
we did. Yep. And shout out to Cassie, who was our server. And she did tell us about another place to go get brunch at, which we didn't go today, Cassie, but we will go. I promise.
For sure. Yeah.
DeSoto, it's called. And it's in downtown Asheville. She said they have a build your own Bloody Mary bar.
Which sounds amazing.
Which we're down.
We have to try. And that's the same owner of the Galactic Pizza, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Still small businesses in Asheville. So we definitely would like to learn more about them. So stay tuned so we can potentially meet with them.
And they're not part of Go Asheville.
We got to work on that.
Local.
We got to work on that
because I asked. I'm like, I am asking everybody now. Oh, do you take this card? Do you take this card? That's a great way to just kind of know who's a part of it, and where there's potential for people to become a part
Maybe
of it. Just
they don't
let them know about it.
Yeah, maybe they don't know. Maybe they don't know the value.
Sometimes you don't. Like, even that's what we've always said. Like, you never know what's in your backyard.
Yeah.
Like, I live here. How did I not know this is here?
Yeah,
How did I not know this is a thing?
For
right?
sure. Yeah.
Even for the people that are very involved in the community, sometimes you just don't know because you're so busy running your small business,
right?
Or being entrenched in whatever it is you're in, that you didn't know that this thing existed.
Exactly. And running a small business, as we know from many friends and family that we have that do just that, it's such a busy thing, especially if you need staff and you're losing staff. So we certainly understand. I guess a good segue there is we also had barbecue from a place called Doc Brown's Barbecue.
I was going to say, do we want to mention one more food place that we've had food
I will tell you, though, Asheville is a foodie paradise.
Well, it's a foodie paradise, but small, family-owned, individual-owned places too.
To me, that's part of the key factor of being a foodie paradise, because Florida has gotten so much better. But I remember years and years ago when it would be like someone would fly in from one of our offices, and then they'd say, "Hey, I'm just going to grab dinner by myself on the way back to the hotel. What do you recommend?" And I'm like,
"There's an Applebee's."
Right. Yeah. So it's definitely changed, and I love that.
Like, the downtown Orlando scene is becoming a lot more, restaurants. There's some 5 what are the Michelin star restaurants down there
that are
now?
everywhere. But even just like the mom and pop places back there's a lot more than there used to be. But this Doc Brown's place, of course, Angie's been trying to get barbecue from there for a while. They are so popular that they will run out. So when you call, they're like, we're out. Sorry. Yeah. If you call earlier.
Yeah, they were out of like 2 things when I called the last time. Thank God it wasn't stuff I wanted, but
so she essentially just calls early in the day and says, "Hey, we're going to have this for dinner," and they're like, "All right,
that's what they suggest too."
That's a sure good sign of a good barbecue, and it was so good.
Yeah, so Doc did reach out to us.
By the way, not based on Back to the Future. I don't want to spoil the interview.
Brown. Yeah, don't spoil it.
He's going to come on the show. He's very excited, but he's having the same thing where he's having to work like crazy and around the clock right now.
And we know this from knowing restaurant owners. It's your life. You know what I mean? When you're working 90 hours a week because people quit or don't show up or you can't get good help, but you still got to make your business run.
Yeah.
And if you're people want that barbecue, buddy.
Right. And
let me tell you.
You're successful and your business is your passion, which is pretty much any successful small business. You gotta be ready to jump in. So we're excited to have Doc on and learn more about it. But in the meantime, if you're in the area, it is delicious. Call ahead. I had the collard greens. I had the pulled pork sandwich. You had mac and cheese, I think.
It was mac and cheese pie is what it's called. And I always try mac and cheese at places because I never I'm like, let me just try it.
It's rarely good.
Yeah. No flavor or too cheesy like Velveeta cheese. This one, this reminded me of a crispier version of the one your Elaine makes. Your mom.
Oh, that's
she makes
good stuff.
One. It's got, I don't know. I've made it before. I can't remember, but she like cream of chicken soup in there. Something to make it like creamy and flavorful. Yep. And that's what this reminded me of.
Oh, it was so good. I can't remember what else we got from there. I got the beans, which were delicious.
Which were a lot of different beans, not just.
Which I've never had before. I've never had baked beans with a bunch of different beans in them.
It's kind of like a cowboy bean soup or something.
You could tell that whatever the smoked meat is, it's been either soaked in something because it's got a lot of that smoked meat flavor. It was so good. I'm making myself hungry right now.
Well, we haven't eaten lunch yet, so.
Doc Brown, here we come.
Doc Brown, here we come. Maybe if we go at lunchtime, we could actually.
Right.
We don't run out of food yet. Anyway, so the rest of the day, we are going to take our little pups for a little walk, let them swim in the river down at the new little place we found. I'm going to try to butcher. I'm not going to butcher Arbitarmanum. What do we say? It sounds like a transformer.
Arbitron?
Arbitron.
Is that a transformer?
No, but it sounds like
one. It does
one.
sound like one. Sounds like something.
So anyway, we'll take him there, let him walk around a little bit, and then Oliver will have his shots at the end of this month, so we can start taking him, really exploring up, on the other trails.
Yeah.
He still gets a little pooped out a little bit, like as far as like mountain climbing, but MacKinzee didn't even go on the mountain until she was like a year old.
Are you going to get him a papoose so you can carry him like a baby?
I really want one, but how long will I use it for? I just carry him.
I know.
You know I do.
It's hilarious. He's so spoiled.
He is the happiest little thing. This dog just wakes up and is happy to be alive.
Yes.
Mackenzie's a little more serious.
So
she's our serious girl.
Mackenzie's my dog, and he's your dog. I get it. She just doesn't.
He wakes up, he's snoring asleep, and he just... And his tongue's out, and he's smiling, and he's like, "Let's go! I'm happy to be alive."
And Mackenzie's like, "Hey, just give it a minute.
Man.
Can we just all get coffee?"
Mom and Dad didn't have their coffee yet.
Yeah.
That's my time to chew my chewy time.
Right.
Like, you got to chill.
Mackenzie, I love this about her.
She growls
this
at
is the running joke. If anyone's having a little too much fun and it's making too much noise, she starts getting irritated, and that's exactly how I am. So
why are those kids having all that fun?
the whole joke is Dan can't stand the sound of kids having fun. So there you go. Look, I never do this, but I thought about something as we were making our notes for the show this morning. Mm-hmm. Back in Florida, I have a reputation for selling technology on the Facebook Marketplace, and it's great because it's not just friends and family, but it's people that have bought from me before that I'd never met before that.
Yeah.
So I can sell things immediately as soon as I'm selling, especially Apple products. And as I am preparing to put some stuff on the Facebook Marketplace, now I have to be prepared for shipping and everything because I haven't really established myself here among the people. And I do know that among the people. But your Facebook Marketplace rating will show anywhere. But for those of you listening that might be interested, and by the time you listen, it might be gone, but I am currently selling a couple of things. I'm selling an iPad mini. This is the latest and greatest current model, 6th gen. It is a 256 storage Wi-Fi version with the Apple Folio. This is a $708 package from Apple right now, selling it for $550, and it is in mint condition, like
Dan
brand new.
Keeps his stuff in very excellent condition.
Still under
me, not so much.
That's why I have the warranty on your stuff. But there's a warranty on this too. It's under Apple Care warranty for another month still, and I'm also selling. This is the biggie. I'm selling an Apple Studio display. This is Apple's $1,600 monitor. Really top of the line. Very nice. So if you're a graphic artist or something and you want to have like the best monitor for your Mac, this is the one.
But tell everybody your trick on why you sell your stuff, though.
Well, hold on. But so that's $1,600 monitor. I am selling it for $1,100, and it is in mint condition in the box with all the wrapping on it. It's actually the box is in the box that the box in the box shipped with. Which, if you know anything about
boxes
Apple
here.
stuff, it's worth way more if it's in the box.
Yeah, because you have to buy the boxes if you don't have them, and they're
know.
like $30 to buy a box.
I have actually lost boxes in my life and had to go buy them. But if you're interested, I'll be posting this stuff on the Facebook Marketplace too. I've never done this on the show, but I thought, I might as well plug it because I'm about to offload it.
Yeah.
And I used to say these will go fast, and now I'm not sure. I did sell an iPad last week within about an hour of posting it. But what was the trick you were going to say for me?
Dan sells stuff so he can buy more Apple stuff.
Yes, without really spending much more.
He
Why
really
not?
does.
That's what a lot of people do.
I mean, I think that's a great thing to
For
do
sure.
instead of just accumulating crap, because you know how I am about crap.
And I have friends.
I mean, not that it's crap, but I'm like,
stuff.
please, you don't need to be a collector.
I
It's
know.
okay.
I know. And I have dear friends and family, Mary, that will come to me and go, I have 16 iPads and 14 iPhones. Can you help me sell all this? And I do.
Okay, but that being said, she does have a business, so
True.
it's probably a lot of like staff things.
Oh,
that
no.
maybe this is just
This is hers and
Mare
her
Bear. Mare Bear. I think we still have a box of Mare
I
Bear
do.
stuff
I just
up in
reminded
the-
me I need to break into it because I had so much stuff. I sold a bunch of it, but I still had a little box I had to move up here with because
Oh my gosh.
couldn't unload it fast enough.
Oh my
But
gosh, so funny.
Anyway.
Anyway, guys, hey, if you get a chance, I'm trying to grow our Facebook and Instagram following. So if you get a chance, head on over to Fine and Angie. You can find us under that, and give us a like and a follow so you can, see what's going on. Also, if you've been on the show or listened to the show, take a few minutes and write a little review on there.
Oh, what a great
Because that
idea.
really helps us, and I don't ever think to do that for people. So I think it's just a nice little reminder. And if you listen to the show, you can do a review on Apple Podcasts, any of your any
players
podcasts
podcast.
that you listen to.
That's the best one for us, though,
Yeah,
because that's where
definitely.
most of our listeners
Yeah,
are
especially
from.
Apple Podcasts.
Yeah,
I think
the Apple
is the
one
biggest
especially, yeah.
But guys, as of whatever. Anyway.
As of what?
Whatever.
What were you going to say?
Whatever. Stop. I was going to say, I can't even do it now. Whatever. Thank you so much for tuning in each and every week. And remember, at the end of the day,
It's all fine and dandy.
It's ridiculous. Hi, listener. Want to know how you can help support our small local podcast? Head on over to patreon.com/fineandangie and see how you can become a patron.